Hi, good evening, everybody. This is your tutor, Sir Hasan Dossani, and a big welcome to all of you on day number 2 of our Game Changer webinar series for SBL December 2021 attempt. And I would like to continue from where we left yesterday. We were not able to complete our target for yesterday. So those of you who have joined today for the first time, we are actually doing a full SBL question this time. And the question which we have selected is SBL specimen paper number 3. It is called NEBI. And these are the various topics. And we will solve this question on the actual CBE platform. So let me see whether my CBE platform is available. Yeah, it's there. Let me close here. Please, can I have a yes if you can see my screen on my CBE platform? Oh, excellent. Thank you so much. Very good. So now, so we were actually, remind me, I think we were at question number 1, right? And question number 1 was prepare a report which assesses and appraises the two options from a strategic perspective. The report should allow the board of NEBI to compare and contrast the two options. Can anybody remind me the options? What are the two options which were in front of them? Option number 1. Just type very shortly. Hotel, very good. So option 1 is hotel, diversify into hotel. And option 2 is continue with their existing business model. All right. So people who have joined now, for the benefit of those people who were not there yesterday, this company has two options for future growth and direction. One is that they continue with their existing business model. They already have 8 restaurants in the southern part of the country, and they want to open a 9th restaurant in the same city. And the other option is that they diversify and open a hotel in the northern part of the country. It is a family-owned business. So the dad who is the chairman and CEO, he is in favor of restaurant business, expanding the current business, whereas the 3 sons are in favor of the hotel business and diversification. Very good. So now we have been asked, and what is our role? I think we were management consultant, right? External people. So we have been asked to prepare a report which compares the two options. So obviously we will look at the pros and the cons of both options. There must be some good points and some bad points in option A, and similarly good points and bad points of option B. So all we need to do is identify the good and the bad points for both the options and lay them out in a presentable manner. And then we will also need to look at the financials. Obviously, we look at we look at both financials and non-financials, right? Very good. So we already read. I think the. Let me increase the screen. Yeah. So we already read the introduction. Yeah, do you remember? Okay, and we copy pasted some stuff. Then we just quickly saw this article about some prestigious awards, all good stories about their restaurant business. Then we read the transcript of the 3-4 directors, what they want to say, and we have already read that. And then exhibit 4 is basically a comparison of two investment plans. It is a financial exhibit. Wait. Right. So we will look at that today, the comparison. And we had to read exhibit 5. So this is where we have to read, right? On the other hand, I'm just trying to warm up you guys. We also made a list of requirements somewhere. Do you remember list of requirements? So I would like to just recall the list of requirements, right? And this was first question. Prepare a report, okay. And then there was question number 2 was this one. Question number 2 is question 2A is explanation of the appropriateness to NABI company of diversifying risk, okay, diversifying risk. And then question number 2B was consideration of the key factors which will influence the financing structure, okay. And question number 3A was to recommend with justification the measures which will be important for tracking all major project variables. 3B was explanation of the implications both for the board, NABI, blah blah blah, of the governance changes. Question 3C was analyze the current culture, and then 4A and 4B was about the current marketing account management accounting information. Right. So let's read exhibit 5, and then we will be ready to start our drafting. Okay, guys. Just read these first 2 paragraphs. So what is this? It is an industry article, hospitality industry. So do you guys think how is this relevant to us? Any idea? The industry in which we are operating, it's an article on the industry. So I think it's important to us, right? Because we are operating in the hospitality or hotel industry. So this article is telling us information about the industry in which we are operating, like customers, suppliers, competition, economy, how it's affecting my industry. So I think this will be an important thing. Now it will be internal mostly or external? External, right? Very good. So I would like to pick up 2-3 points from this, mostly external points. All right, let's start. Please read the first 2 paragraphs. I'm done. It's all just fancy stories here and there. We don't have this much time to cover these details in our answers under exam condition. So just one major punchline you identify and we can move on. Spotlight on the future. This would be an interesting thing. Let's read these 3 paragraphs. Uh, Bhava is not able to copy paste in the word response, so you need to refresh, refresh the browser, and hopefully it will work. Okay, done. When you are finished reading, please type done. All right, so time to copy paste. Industry commentators expect another excellent year for hospitality industry, anticipating rising hotel occupancy rates. So it's overall good news, right? So I'll just copy this, and where is that document here? External factors, option 1, option 2. Option 1 was restaurant, right? Yeah. In the last 12 months, revenue per available room, a performance metric used in hotel industry, has increased from, is this good news or bad news that revenue available per room has increased? That's good or bad? Very good. So I can again, use this statistic. Wherever, listen very carefully, wherever any statistics is given, I love to use statistics in my answer. Can anybody tell me why it is nice to use statistics in your answer? Please do not use Q&A box. Whatever question you have, type in the chat box. Why? Yeah, extra mark, it will help get you extra mark, but why statistics? Board loves it, huh? It proves your point. Okay, Simply because, yeah, when you give statistics, you sound more credible, more dependable, more authentic, and also being finance people, being finance people, we should give statistics. It is our numbers, is our job, right? Got it? So wherever you see any statistics in the scenario, try and use it in your answer. I'm not saying 100% of the time, but as much as you can. So I just copied it. Over the same period, the average daily rate has been remained consistent. Okay, I'll just copy paste here as a continuation, just to show that I'm using some statistics. Restaurants play a bigger role in than ever in hotels, and the restaurant is unlikely. Very good. Is this good news for me? Yeah, because I am an expert in restaurants, right? So now restaurants are playing a bigger role in hotel. Okay. I think there's a lot of stupid stuff. Just read this paragraph. This, I think this looks important. When you are done with this paragraph, let me know and I will move to the next paragraph. Northern Regeneration Program. Okay, so please read these two paragraphs now. Ten more seconds. Whoops, what happened? Okay, so what is this Northern Regeneration Program? It is saying that the revenue in the northern part of Sealand is likely to increase more faster. Why? Because they know in the north there is a major sporting event which is going to happen there. So the next few years there will be a lot of people traveling to that northern part of the country. This is good news for if I have a hotel. Amazing, yeah. So option one, external factors, yeah, here. And then facilitate economic growth, government grants. So I think we've covered government grant before. Again, some statistics. When I see statistics, I just use them to support my answer. What about this one? There is fierce competition. Where? Where? Where is this fierce competition? In the capital city. It says that there are not enough great sites available and there is fierce competition to acquire the, so it makes sense for a business to consider investment in north. So south is already very saturated. This is, I can take this point as a negative point for the second option. That, you know, if you want to open up another restaurant in the same city, a lot of this fierce competition going on. So it doesn't make lots of sense to open in a place where there's already a lot of competition, and we have 8 restaurants already. Right. Option 1 is hotel industry, correct. Right. So let me just go through some quick stuff. Otherwise, you know, I will just skip stupid things. I just need to see whether something is important. All right, khalas. Done. So now let's focus on the points we have gathered so far. Ready, guys? Now, before I start my drafting, listen very carefully. Before I start my drafting, so right now, up till now, what we have done, we have gathered some points, we have copy pasted some points from the exhibits, right? Now the next step is drafting and, you know, preparing your answer so that you can score good marks. Before you start your drafting, you have to read the requirement very carefully again, so that we do not get off track. So what's the requirement? Let's read this first. I will read the background, then the requirement, then I will read the entire requirement carefully now, just before I'm starting my drafting, so that I don't miss out anything. So let's read the requirement carefully. NEBI company is now considering whether to continue with the current business model, blah, 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 or to diversify the portfolio and enter the hotel industry, blah, 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 blah. The board of NEBI has requested an independent report on the 2 mutually exclusive investment options they are considering. What is the meaning of 2 mutually exclusive investment option? What does it mean? Mutually exclusive investment option. Ah, very good, guys. Very good. I'm impressed. Means either this or this. I cannot have both girlfriends. I need to choose. If I choose her, she goes. If I choose her, she goes. So these are the 2 mutually. Now, what's the format here? Report, which assesses and appraises 2 options from a strategic perspective. The report, blah, 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 blah. Note, a recommendation is not required. Okay, 20 marks, and professional skills marks are available for demonstrating evaluation in assessing and appraising the information the board need to use to form the basis of final decision. How can we score evaluation? We have to make sure that for both the options, we should cover pros and cons. We should not give a biased picture. We should not give a one-sided picture. Okay. Okay, so I think we are good. the format. So this is the question. Let me, now I am about to start my drafting. You guys can watch me for a few minutes. So I'm now starting with a report format. How do you make a report? REPORT. Okay. To, from, subject, date, to enter, and then introduction. Can you do that for me? Can you type quickly these things on your CBE platform? Once you are done, it's all right, Tajwar. We will look into it later. This case has got a lot of garbage. Well, if you cannot get into the CBE platform, then just watch me and then try later. That's very bad. I had requested everybody that in the morning you guys should enter your CBE platform and catch up, right? Once you are done, please type done. Now, select report. Go to paragraph, increase the size to heading 2. And then underline. You can underline through Control U or use an icon, and center. Maybe increase the size to heading 1 like this. Can you do that? So report is big, right in the center. Okay, now who is the report to be addressed to? You will need to look at the requirement. Where is the requirement? This, the board of NEBI has requested. So the report, the addressee will be, either you can write the board of NEBI or you can write board of directors. What do you think is right? Please do it downside. Board of directors. From was somewhere in the first exhibit. I'm an independent self-employed management consultant. So I just write management consultant. Subject. Are you guys doing along with me? Are you typing? Subject, I want very short. So again, I will look at the requirements and I will just choose a very short 2 words, 3 words subject tagline. How about 2 options or 2 strategic options or future strategic options? What do you think? Yes, I am writing everything in bold. The to, from is in bold and then the rest will be unbold, right? Future direction. Where did you see the word future direction in the requirement? Please stick to the words used in the requirements. Evaluation of 2 options. Why do you need to write evaluation of? Forget evaluation. So let's, okay. Don't write evaluation or assessment, just the main word. Okay, I would say future options. Think like a CFO. Future options or strategic options or maybe future strategic options. Khalas. Date. What is the date of your paper? Okay, got it? All this is caps and bold deliberately so that the examiner can see that the format is well presented. Even I can, increase the font size by a little bit. Okay. Now introduction, that should not be bold, huh? That should be normal fonts. Now where do I get the introduction? We will copy paste from the requirement. We will say this, nope, this report, and then we will go to the requirement and we will copy assesses and appraises the two options from a strategic perspective. Control C. I will just copy it and go to the Word and I will paste it. This report assesses and appraises the two options from strategic perspective. What are the two options? I think we had already mentioned here. Option 1. I don't like this. The sons have suggested, because we just copy pasted at that time, right? So now we need to make it like a proper report. We will say that option 1 is, I delete the sons have suggested, NABI should pursue a strategy of product diversification and enter hotel industry. Khalas. Or you can maybe you can remove it, or you want to keep it. They've identified a new business. You can keep it, but instead of they have identified a new business opportunity. Done. What is option 2? I will just, let me copy paste the format. Option 2 is, I think we have mentioned somewhere down there, option 2. I will just cut it and I will paste it here. Option 2. However, Graham believes that the business should continue. So I need to remove all this scrap. We will say option 2 is that NABI should continue with its current business model of converting and open 9th restaurant in Caputo. Khalas. Option 1, option 2. Please, now I will wait for you guys. You need to catch up now. So you see the report, the format, the introduction, the two options have been defined. This is option 1, and this is option 2. Or maybe you can switch as well if you want. Option 1 can be these restaurants. Option 2 doesn't really matter. Are you guys done up till here? Okay, I will give you guys 1 minute to just complete this. I want you to do it on your own so that you get the feel of it. 1 minute for you guys to catch up till here. Those of you who have not copy pasted, you will struggle because you missed yesterday's class, but it looks really nice to me up till now. Done? Okay, so those of you who are not, up to the mark, you can watch, and then tomorrow morning you can try on your own, right? Because we are struggling with time. We cannot wait. I cannot wait so much. I hope you understand, right? So now these are the two options. Now what do we do? Let's analyze option 1. Option 1. I will give a heading option 1, which is hotel. Oh. Bowl center Increase the font size so that the examiner can clearly see. Now let's talk about option 1. External factors, the feel of the property. So now we will look at all the points, but obviously we cannot pick up all the points. I just need 1 or 2 points per heading and I will move on, because it's a time thing as well under exam conditions. So what are the main thing is the economy is doing good, the government is supporting, there are grants, it is a diversifying, more tourists are expected in the northern part, right? Very good. So let's start. Industry commentators expect another excellent year for hospitality industry, anticipating rise in hotel occupancy as well as increasing number of restaurant meals served in the type of restaurants. Okay, now is this good or bad? When they expect another excellent year, rising hotel occupancy, is that good? Rising hotel occupancy means what? Why is it good? Explain to me like I'm a 5-year-old child. It's more revenues, right? Very good. Yeah, you can type in increased revenue, more revenue. So we will say that this class. In the last 12 months, revenue per available room has increased from this to this. Now revenue, average revenue, this shows that revenue potential is increasing over the years, or has an upward trend over the years, which is favorable for hotel industry. Okay, what else? I like this sentence. I believe we should try and take first mover advantage available to us. What is the first mover advantage? Any idea? First movers advantage, capturing market share. Yeah, right now grabbing opportunity. Very good. But I believe we should try. No, we need to just change this. As an my role is external, right? This option will enable NABI to take first mover advantage and grab growth opportunities in northern part of Sealand. Alas. Oh, this is a very important point. We should also be taking advantage of the grants that are available for businesses choosing to invest. We should be taking NABI can also benefit from the grants that are available for businesses choosing to invest in north of Sealand. How will grant benefit us? If we get government grants, how does that help us? Why is it good? Why is it not bad? Government grants, is it good? Helps saving on our costs, helps to reduce our costs. I don't like the word cost. Maybe will help reduce our investment, because right now we are starting, yeah. So it will reduce the funding requirements, or it will help reduce our initial investment. Cost sounds very routine, like day-to-day operations, right? So government is giving grants to come for people to come up and set up businesses. So I think investment is a better word. What do you think? NEBI cash can also benefit from the grants that are available. This would enable NEBI to reduce its funding or initial investment requirements / cash flows. What do you think? Just one liner is required from you to justify why you are giving this point. That's the whole trick. You understand that? One sentence from the scenario and one sentence from your side justifying or telling about the impact or how it's going to affect us, good or bad, and that's the trick. Prince, you are right that surplus funds can be used in other areas, but don't expand your answers unnecessarily, because you will struggle with time. Got it? I can add more 3-4 more lines. I'm good in adding, fancy lines. But don't do it because you are struggling with time management. Just basic point and move on. For me, time management is more important. Remember yesterday's lecture? Time is more important. What about this last point? I'm removing everything. What about this point? The growth rate is likely to increase faster in the north of Sealand, where a regeneration program is underway. Overseas visitors will rise by 600,000 this year, the highest in the last 5 years. This is a great opportunity to, or this will lead to substantial or faster growth, business growth. Okay, as compared to south part of the country. The point here is that the northern part is going to grow more faster. Enough. So now my big question. Aisha, you're absolutely right. Aisha is saying for 24 marks question, aren't we writing so much under this external only? Like we have other headings as well. Absolutely correct. Okay, but I'm not writing that much. What I'm just doing is adding one sentence to copy pasted stuff. Maybe you can delete, you can just write top 3 points. For me, time management is more important, but right now, because I'm showing you how to do it, You can understand, and then we can always in the next questions try to restrict our number of points. Varda, I will cover financials. Wait, Baba. Definitely. We haven't looked at the financials as yet. So you understand, I'm going very slow because this is the first time you're drafting it. Understand the technique, one line from the case and one line from your mind explaining how that point is relevant. Is it necessary to have subheadings? I'm not giving subheadings. I just said external factors. So some kind of subheading would definitely, make the report look nicer. A report normally has proper headings, right? So that the reader can see. So high level heading like option 1, external factors would definitely make your report nice and easy for the readers. Revenue growth under financials. Yes, I'm coming under. I haven't started financials. I'm right now just talking about non-financials. Financials, there is a proper exhibit which we have not looked into. You see this exhibit? That's financials. So wait. Yes, Shah, why are you copy pasting so much things? How about subheadings like geographical, government grants? That would be nice if you can give more subheadings like government grants, growth potential, but just be careful about time, okay? But that would be nice. It's okay. Right, let's move on. Internal factors. And internal factors, I would definitely like to talk about human resource, financial resource. That those are the two main things, right? So human resource, do they have experience in hotel business? Do they have direct experience in hotel business? No. Just they are the best in restaurants, no doubt. They are amazing bunch of people in restaurant business. Nobody can beat them. But they feel, but they have confidence. They feel that their competencies will help them in hotel business. And also restaurants are now becoming an integral part of hotel business. Though if you look at this sentence, I know that my experience with restaurants can be transferred to hotel. We know that restaurants play a bigger role, so we are playing by our core strengths. Let's use these two lines about human resource. We will say that Nabi does not have any experience of hotel business. However, restaurants, however, I will just copy. Restaurants are playing a bigger role than ever in hotels. So Nabi, I'm just changing the tone because I'm an external consultant. So Nabi can play to where is it? Yeah. So Nabi can play to their core strengths. They can utilize their experience with restaurants in hotel venture. Khalas. This paragraph talks about HR, that Nabi does not have any experience of hotel business. What about finance? Now, these are points from finance. My initial concern was not being able to finance the hotel without external investment and a potential dilution. My concern is the hotel is characterized with high gearing. So can we draft something about finance? A little bit. Hotel would require substantial investments. Can anybody tell me the amount of investment required? Because as I said, I love to quote numbers. The amount is given. We have not read that exhibit, but if I can show you the financial exhibit, where is it? Yeah, here. So the cash flows required is hotel is 21 million. It's also mentioned initial investment 5 million versus 21 million. Okay, so I would like to use the hotel would require substantial investment of $21 million. If this is arranged through a loan, it will adversely affect the gearing of Nabi. And if this amount is arranged through what? Through venture capitalist, then it will dilute the existing ownership of the company. Khalas, enough. I'm just deleting all the other stuff and I am putting the human resource first and financial point as second. Okay. Now, any questions on internal factors? You see how I simplified stuff. I removed all the points. I just focused on two top points and just explain in very simple language so that a 5-year-old child can understand. One paragraph on the experience side and one paragraph on the financial side. Yes, Ikra, absolutely, but no need to go into so much complication in your answer. I'm trying to simplify and shorten the answer, and you are trying to increase and going into more detail in the answer. Baba, you just have limited time and under exam situation. So very, very basic. Do you understand the approach, the 2 points of internal factors? Yes or no? I want everybody to say. This is the approach you need to take. Very good, very good. So now once you will do this drafting on your own, you will feel more confident, right? So look at the option one. Option one, there are external factors. So many options we gave the points, which I don't like giving so many points, but fine. They were there. I just added one sentences to them and very brief internal factors. And the third heading would be financial, right? Financials. So we haven't looked at that exhibit. So now let's move to option two. Let's do a similar drafting for option two. Option 2 is restaurant in Caputo. Now, how are the external factors for Caputo? External, where? Why can't I hear anything? All yes. Okay. Are you guys able to hear me? Because one student is saying that no, you're not able to hear me. Can you hear me? Very good. Okay. Okay. Good. Good. Thanks. Thanks. Now, restaurant in Caputo. How many restaurants we already have in Caputo? 8 restaurants. And it is saying that in the capital, there are not enough sites available and there is fierce competition to acquire. So it makes sense for a business to consider investment in north of Sealand. I will just edit this a bit and not worry about, other things. What are the other points? What about this sentence? Let me start with this sentence, okay? I will say this is we should continue to build on our strengths by expanding restaurant portfolio in Caputo. This was by the dad, right? But we cannot say we. This option or restaurant option will help NABI continue to build on its strengths and core competencies by expanding its restaurant portfolio in Caputo. However, capital city has fierce competition. I'm just picking up from here. Has fierce competition, and so it makes sense for a business to consider investment. I'll just take it here. Khalas. Enough. I'm done with external factors. Internal factors. Human resource and financial resource. Do we know anything about human resource? Yeah, this paragraph, we have been successful in attracting and commanding. So I'll just cut it and paste it here as a first line. We will say that NABI has been successful in attracting, commanding intense loyalty from its restaurant staff. Just removing NABI's staff turnover is relatively low in an industry known for high staff turnover. Furthermore, NABI has rich experience of 35 years of restaurant business and has won what? Several awards and is a very strong brand in Caputo. What about financials? How much is required in the financials? I remember seeing some financials. It was comparison. I think it was 5 million. Oh, the investment required for this option is $5 million, which is substantially lower than the investment required for hotel option. Hence, this goes in favor of, then this point goes in favor of this option. Okay, very simple points. Let me look at some comments. What are the comments? We cannot do an apple to apple NPV comparison. Wait, Baba, Kevin, wait. So are we done with external factors, internal factors? Like non-financials, we are done. Now, only thing left is financials. All right. For that, we will have to look at the exhibits. Does it look good? Report to from subject date, introduction, option 1, option 2, option 1, hotel in North Zealand, external factors 5-6 points, internal factors 2 points, financials is pending, option 2, external factors couple of points, internal factors couple of points, financials is pending. Where is financials? Exhibit 4. Okay, let me remove it from here. Okay, financials. Okay, let me remove this from here. What is this thing? Our current investment criteria are for projects to deliver a positive NPV at the cost of capital chosen and to achieve a payback within 5 years. Interesting. That's the only. So are you guys ready to look at the financials? Now, but please, you have to look at the financials like a CFO. Don't look at it like a student or an accountant. You should look like you are reviewing and thinking and reviewing. Okay. So first, let me give you some hints. Okay. So whenever you see a financial projection, you look at 5 things. As a CFO, I look at 5 things. I have a mental checklist. You understand what a checklist is? Yeah. So you should look at 5 things. Number 1, projection should be based on discounted cash flow. So all long-term investments are supposed to be analyzed using the discounted cash flow method, using a sensible discount rate. Then I would like to calculate the simple payback. Then we will review the assumptions for any apparent stupidity. Why do we need to review the assumptions? Can anybody, Kobu, ask me these questions towards the end. Huh? I would like to answer this question, Kobu, but not now. Why do we need to review the assumptions for, well, for sense check? Yeah, I understand, Mahita, it is reasonable or not, but why do we need to check whether the assumptions are reasonable or not? The reliability of the data, very good. So a financial projection is a futuristic thing, right? That is why it is called projections. So those numbers are showing future forecasted or expected numbers. Nobody knows the future. So all those fancy numbers are calculated based on certain assumptions, correct? What will happen if one of the assumption goes wrong? The numbers will change? Yes or no? Very good, Hira. If one of the assumption goes wrong, the number will change. And if the number will change, the NPV will change. And if the NPV changes, the entire decision can go wrong. So actually the numbers are dependent on the quality of the assumptions. The more solid your assumptions, the more reliable you can. So the projections are dependent on assumptions. So it's very, as a CFO, I look at the assumptions very carefully because a wrong assumption can lead to a wrong decision. Got it? Very good, very good. So let's go one by one. So item number one, it should be based on discounted cash flow. So let me close this and open this. Okay, let me. Are you guys able to see it? Are you guys able to read it? So is it based on discounted cash flow? Let me. Oh, I see a word called um, discount factor. You see, and if I go down, investment restaurant business, year 0, year 1, year 2, net present value is 0.651. So initial investment is -5, and then inflow year 1 is -0.5 plus. These are all inflows, the discount factor and the present value, and hence the present value is 0.651 million, right? For hotel, it is initial investment, cash flows, discount factor, present value. So is it based on discounted cash flow? Yes. Khalas. Then there is no other point to talk about. The second thing we look at is we try and calculate the payback. So can we calculate the payback? Because I think the director mentioned that for them the criteria is 5 years. So what is the payback? So, I'm always confused. Payback should be based on before discount or after discount. Any idea? What do you do? Normally, what do you guys do? Is it based on before discounting or after discounting? Majority is saying before discounting. Simple payback is before discounting or after. Guys, don't confuse me. I know there are two methods. Simple, which one is faster and simpler? I don't know. So let's look at, so can anybody let me know the discount of the payback period of hotel business? So the outflow is 21 million and inflow is, can anybody calculate for me? You know how to calculate between 4 and 5. It is less than 4.8. Yes, Shilpa, absolutely right. Shilpa says it's 4.8 years. So you can calculate it at your home later on, but 4.8 is the right answer. And can you calculate for me the payback of restaurant business, please? Oops, what happened? Restaurant business payback is, wow, Shilpa, 5.25. Shilpa, can you share how you are calculating, or you just read examiner's answer? Oh, you Shilpa, you did it. I'm very impressed. Many people are asking how you calculated it. How did you get 4.8? Add cash flow until it makes sum of initial investment of 5 million. Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to do something fancy here. I copied everything. I went to spreadsheet. I opened a new spreadsheet and I paste. And I paste. Why it's not? I'm trying to copy the entire data. Copy. And on a simple spreadsheet, I want to paste. I don't know. You guys can calculate, right? I don't want to stop here. And so, for example, you add this plus this plus this plus this, how much it comes, and then year 1 plus year 2 next to scissors. I did that. I actually, copy pasted using the options next to the scissor. Oh, okay. I understand. Copy, and I go to, where is that Excel sheet? Spreadsheet, and paste. No, it's not working because it's a strange thing. Anyways, do you guys want me to calculate it right now, or you can figure it out? It's not rocket science. You just keep on adding the cash flows till you reach 5 million. And then you will calculate how many years and how many months. Okay. I do expect you guys to know this technique. So Aisha Maiman has mentioned something. Let me show you what Aisha has mentioned. SNIP, snip tool, open, not now. Where is snip tool? Come on. Snipping, new. And this is the calculation, guys. I can show you on a Word document. Let me paste it. This is what Aisha has shown. Aisha has calculated. Thank you, Aisha. She has calculated for the restaurant business. She added all the cash flows, -5, minus 0.5, plus 0.5, plus 1, plus 1.5, plus 2. And why do you divide by 2, Aisha? Anyways, guys, it's very simple. I know how it's calculated, but I don't have the tools to, calculate here right now. Okay, let's move on. So can we write one sentence on, where is the word processor, on the payback? We will say option 1, payback. What's happening? Okay, the payback period of hotel option is how much? Is 4.8 years, which is within the criteria specified by the finance, was it finance, John Neby, right? By the finance director. And for option 2, I would say the payback period of restaurant option is 5.25 years, which is slightly above the criteria of 5 years specified by the finance director. Okay, got it. Now, can anybody let me know the NPV of both options? What is the NPV? Which one is better? NPV of a restaurant is 0.65 million and NPV of hotel is 2.9 million. Wow. I would like to write that in my report, because financials, it is mostly about NPV, right? Okay. So we will, this is the financials. So I would start with NPV. That's important. And then the NPV of this option is $2.9 million, is $2.9 million, at which is substantially higher than the NPV of restaurant business, which was $0.65 million. Correct? Second point is that the payback period of hotel option is 4.8 million. Okay, so I will just copy paste this NPV line there so that I can, mention this. The NPV of this option is 0.65 million, which is substantially lower than the NPV of hotel business, which is 2.9 million. Done. Basic stuff is there. Now, what else? So we looked at the projections, discounted cash flow we've mentioned. So discount rate, simple payback, review the assumptions. Review the assumptions. So what are the assumptions? Background on investment, expansion of our existing restaurant business, open a hotel in the north of Sealand, qualifying for government grants towards renovation cost. Very good. Initial investment, the $5 million, the basis for determining the initial investment outlay is the actual cost incurred in the renovation of our latest restaurant added to our current portfolio 15 months ago, 21 million. The basis of determining the initial investment is information sourced from industry experts who have recent involvement. Do you see any problem in these assumptions, especially this one? So what is the basis of 5 million? Why not 6 million? Why not 4 million? This 5 million is the cost of opening a new restaurant based on our last restaurant, which was opened 18 months ago or 15 months ago. What's wrong with this? Maybe outdated. Yes. What's wrong with this? Kevin, you're saying it's wrong assumption, but that's not enough for the examiner. What's wrong with it? Inflation. Okay. That's a poor word. Maybe there is no inflation in that economy. How do you know that? It's outdated is a better word. Yes, good, Elvin. Kevin, don't be so philosophical that I mean inflation is right. I'm not saying, but a better word is this. This is outdated numbers. We need to look at the latest cost, right? I'm sure it's gone up, but inflation we don't know. Is just inflation? There might be some new stuff, new ways of construction, maybe. Okay, I'm just you know. So can we draft it somewhere? Where is it? What processor? Financials. This is option 2. I will go. The cost of $5 million is based on the last restaurant, or can we say 8 restaurant built by Nebi 15 months ago. This cost needs to be revalidated as costs may have gone up. Instead of saying inflation, as costs may have gone up or outdated in or maybe outdated. Halas. Enough. Now CFOs, what else can you see? Proposed project commencement. The building has been identified, blah, 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 blah. Former bank forget. Project duration. 3 months once final agreement is negotiated. 9 months once final. Okay, duration is fine. Both are within 1 year, right? Okay. This one is very important. Cash flow. The net cash flows are based on the figures achieved for the latest restaurant added to the current portfolio 15 months ago. So the this cash flows of the restaurants, the inflows are based on our latest restaurant 15 months ago. So again, these numbers may not be up to date. They might be outdated. So we need to revisit or revalidate. I'm not saying it's wrong. We just say I want to reconfirm or revalidate this assumption. That's it. And what about this? This one is very important. Read very carefully, guys. The net cash flows do not include any of the government grants which may be obtained for the renovation work. What? Does this sound right? The cash flow do not include government grants. Does it sound right to you as a CFO? I would always ask this question: why the grant is not included? I mean, there could be a reason. I don't know, but I'm supposed to ask that, right? Yes. So I would just say. And I think from a logical perspective, it should be included because a cash flow is a cash flow, inflow and outflow. So if we are receiving government grant as a cash or funds, it should be taken. It is one of the main attraction, one of the main advantages that there's the government is offering grants. So why the F? You have not included the grant in your calculations. This needs to be revalidated. And obviously, if you include that, it will further improve the NPV, right? Very good. Yes, Amal, you are right. Maybe there are certain conditions, but that's not our job as CFO. My job is to ask questions. Khalas. It is the job of you to answer back whether there are any conditions attached or not. Got it? So right now, okay. So let me just draft this very quickly. I know you guys are tired. but I want to take it slowly so that you understand the foundations. So where is the word processor? I would say now this is the issue of this one, huh? The why is it bold? Okay. The inflows does not include government grants. This is a major attraction of hotel option, as it would reduce the renovation costs. This amount should be included in the cash flows in order to give a correct picture. Enough, basic. And then what is this? The cash inflows are based on 65% occupancy in year 2, year 3, and year 4, rising to 85% in year 5, year 6, and year 7. Does this make sense? That for year 1 is the construction year, okay? So year 1 is the construction year, like 9 months construction. So year 2 will be the first year of revenues. So how can the revenue be constant for year 2, 3, and 4? As a CFO, doesn't it clicks to you that what is going on? And why 65% from day 1? How can you get 65% occupancy from day 1? What is the basis of 65? Why not 55 or 75 for that matter? This is a very, very important assumption because it is directly affecting the cash inflows in your projection, which will again in turn affect your ultimate NPV. So you cannot be so casual like this. Very good. Very good. I'm just going through the comments. Yes. Kevin, the change from 65 to 85 is a secondary thing. The first thing is why 65? Why not 25? The first 3 years, 65 as a common sense. If it's a new hotel, I don't know, it might take some time in built up, right? I mean, I'll just draft very simple stuff. I'm just asking these questions for you guys to understand, but when I will draft, I will just make it very clear. Also, the occupancy rates of 65% and 85% seems inappropriate as they are constant. What are the basis of these assumptions? I would expect lower occupancy rates in the initial years. This needs to be revalidated. Khalas. CFO doesn't talk a lot, okay? CFO's job is to always ask the right question and move on. You like it? You like the job of a CFO? Elvin, what you're asking is small questions, like very operational. Think strategic. Why 65? Why not 25, 45? Tajwar, it is a like-to-like comparison, okay? Your concept needs to be built. because NPV is always based on discount factor, so it is a like-to-like comparison. Even though the cash outflows and inflows are different, the NPV of both options are like-to-like because that's the way we compare. Will you be sharing this answer? Really? You want me to share this answer? Why? Very smart, so that you can copy, cheater. Okay, $10 extra for sharing the answer. Okay, if you want, I can share, no problem. Enough, forget. Let's just look at this. I just write 2 lines. Khalas, don't go into the details. You don't have the time when you are drafting. Imagine just couple of lines and it's enough for to show the examiner that you understand how a CFO works. That's it. Please don't get stuck into nitty-gritties and this and that. You are a strategic business leader, Baba. Okay, see, to the point. Tak, 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 khalas. Enough. So I'm done with the financials. And lastly, what? Tax implications. So do you see any tax implication? Any tax implication? No. So let's write one sentence. What can I write? What can I write? Do you understand this simple language? If I am the CFO and if I write this to you, will you understand that? Possible tax implications will need to be included, if any. You understand? That's it. I will copy this and I will also put under the financials of this one because this applies to both the scenarios. And what about the last point? Sensitivity analysis. It is always suggested that good CFO would ask for multiple scenarios, sensitivity analysis, just to make sure that everything is covered properly. So you can just write one small sentence. Further sensitivity analysis should be done to identify the most sensitive assumptions affecting the NPV. Khalas. You all know what the sensitivity is. This what is a sensitivity analysis? You know that, right? So I'm just impressing the examiner by showing him that I'm a professional. This is how I work, honestly. This checklist is my checklist. Whenever I receive any projections, and I receive a lot of projections because all decisions are based on projections. So this is my checklist. I just look at all these things and khalas. I just share my review points. So these are my review points. Wow, 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 wow. So guys, let me show you. Are you guys okay with this? Now, do you want to see how this looks to the examiner? Just press this print button. You see this print button? I will press this print button and it says save as PDF. Save as PDF, and I will save it. I'll save it in download. I will say maybe. Okay. Where is it? Where did it go? Download. Here. So the examiner will see something like this. Do you like it? It says a report, board of directors. Nice, huh? Report, board of directors. Now, if I will check, I will check like this. I'll show you how an examiner checks. Okay, so format, report. Okay, report to, from, subject, date, introduction. Ah, what's missing here? Sincerely, management consultant. Okay. Now, option one is there, option two is there, option one, external factors 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, 4 point. You remember 1 point is how many paragraph? 1. 5 point. Okay. Internal factors 6, 7, financials 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. Very good. Option 2, external factors. Very good. Internal, there are 2 factors. Financial, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, very good. So this guy has covered a lot of points. Nice. What about professional marks? So what was the professional skills? Evaluation. Then I will make sure that have you covered pros and cons? Yeah, I've talked about good things and bad things. Do you agree? Good things and bad things, we have covered both of them. Do you think we have scored evaluation by covering everything? Yeah. So very good. So what I will do is, so it was 20 marks technical and 4 marks for professional. So I think you guys have got given a lot of points. So I would give you 20 for technical, 6 to, I would give you like 13 marks, 13 to 14. Or how many? I like it, they're good points. Yeah. So maybe 14, 14 from technical out of 20, and 2 marks out of 4 for evaluation. Or maybe you can want to make it 3. So how much? 14 plus 2, 16 divided by 24. Go. Why did I give 14? Because our points are smaller. The kind of points which the examiner expects, we will not be able to produce that kind of drafting under exam conditions. Okay. So I think this is good enough mark. So do you get an idea how your papers are marked? They look at the paragraphs. How to score full mark, Wakas? Good question. Padam is saying 67%. Very good. How to score beyond 14? My friend, you have to consider time management. If English is not your mother tongue, if you're not a fast reader, forget about full marks or good high marks. Time management is more important. Remember, already we spend so much time. If you want to score more, then you require 8 hours. So maybe 4 hours of this attempt and 4 hours of next attempt is okay. You understand? Forget about nitty-gritties. You understand how the examiner sees the script, how he sees the format, how he counts the points and the number of thing, and how he then in the last sees the professional marks. Does this look sexy? Yeah, proper. Like it looks like you can send it to the board of directors. Very good. That's the ultimate product which you have to sell to the examiner. How we do the ending, I will show you how you do the ending. It's very simple. You go to the end and you go to the end and you just write I don't have time. I will just bold it and slightly increase the font so that the examiner can see a proper end. Khalas. Mini, I think you missed yesterday's class. Never give conclusion unless specifically asked or required. Guys, how was it? Before I proceed, I need to make sure that all of you understand how the drafting is done. It was slow. Definitely, it will take time for you to build speed. Okay. But first, you need to understand the technique. One line from the scenario, and then you add one line on your own. We need to write less. So if we have gathered a lot of points, I can easily delete them, right? I don't want to mess up my answer or show it like as a Sunday market. I don't want my answer to look like a Sunday market with so many points. Just 2, 3 points nicely explained and done. Now, how much time? What time we started? We started 7:30, 8:30, 9:30. Oh God. So 37:30 to 8:39. So, all right. So do you guys need a break? Sir, are the points which that's the most important ones? Not really. So you can include, I don't know, it's very subjective, right? It is not necessary that the points which stats will be the most important one. But you may include one point with stats just to show off to the examiner. Yes, Sana, good point. Sana is saying the analysis and recommendation is mostly based on common sense. Yes. If time management is no issue, how to score more? Sia, time management is a big issue. I don't want you to, first you do 2, 3 papers, right? If you are enrolling in my mock-based practice classes, then let's do 2, 3 papers. If you feel that you're able to complete the paper before time, then I will tell you how to score more. I will not tell you now because then you might go in the wrong direction. There is no syllabus or technical knowledge. Yes, as I said yesterday, 25% of the paper, in fact, a bit more, is mostly common sense. All you need to do is just have some basic understanding of the case, basic understanding of business concepts, and you can build up your answer. Always remember the board of directors are 5-year-old children. You cannot go complicated with them. Simple. Right, guys? So let's take a break. Yes, Varda. Let's take a break. So can you see my screen? Share my screen. Share my screen. Come on, guys. What's happening? Share my screen. Wait, guys. What happened to my pen? Who can share first? I don't want this. I want to close this. Just my pen is not working, so give me 1 minute. What's happening? Break. What's the time now? It's 9:23. Let's say 10:23. No, 25 to 10:25, 35, 40. Okay, I will see you at 10:40 with question number 2. Guys, enjoy your break, but be back on time. Okay. Thanks, guys. Oh, Waqas, Pakistan won. Very good. I didn't knew there was a match today. So against which team? Oh, Namibia, one of the tough team, huh? Good. All right. So, guys, should we start now? If most of you are back. Okay, let's. So now I'm going to start with day two. So we were miserably behind schedule for day one. And today, whatever we did was pertaining to yesterday. But I didn't want to rush because this is creating the base and the foundation. So I hope that now we will speed up a bit. So I'm now formally starting today's webinar, and I think we will not be able to complete it. So that's fine. I will spread it over to tomorrow then. For me, quality is more important than quantity right now. Right. So welcome to the day two of the webinar. And that's my introduction for those students. What's important basically is my WhatsApp number. And I have my own global SBL WhatsApp group. It's very important that all of you are member of that group. And if you're not yet member of that group, please message on this number and you will be added to the global group. Okay. How to ask question? It's just chat box today. That's the suggested study plan. Again, this is for people who have joined today, that I have published a study plan between now and the exam. So these are the questions which you should do, then 3 marks. And then I'm also offering my mock based practice class, which will be starting from November 6th. And like today, if you like today's pattern, we will be solving like at least 4 SBL questions like today's pattern. Okay, so really helpful. If you want more details, you can message on this number and enroll yourself. Especially good for resit students, right? And back to Nabi. So we have talked about this one. Now, I think today we will cover these two topics: diversifying risks and financing structure. So let me diversifying risks. Very simple topic. You know, risks can be diversified at 3 levels. So whenever you get a question relating to diversifying risks, just make sure that you give these three headings: product diversification, industry diversification, and geographical diversification. Product diversification means that you should have a variety of products, so that if one product fails, the other might save the day. Similarly, industry diversification means that you should not put all eggs in one industry. Why? Because if that industry declines, you will be screwed. So industry diversification means that you should have business interests in a variety of industries, so that if one industry is not doing good, the others can cover up. And thirdly, geographical diversification means that you should not put all eggs in one city or one country. You should diversify geographically, preferably to more countries, so that you can take advantage of political things and economic issues. Got it? Very simple. These 3 headings and you are done. Any questions on product diversification? Simple topic. Yes, Shah. Any questions on diversifying risk? Yes or no? Everybody, I need everybody to participate. Uh, don't raise hands. It's okay. I mean, okay. Now, the next topic is financing structure. Again, I will give you a story, a high level picture like a CFO. So there are two types of financing available to a company. It is called financing structure. It is also called funding strategies, that how would I fund a particular project or a particular option, financing structure or funding strategies. So what are the two types of funding options available? One is called debt-based financing or debt financing, and the other one is called equity financing. Debt financing examples could be bank long-term loans, term finance certificates, debentures. They're all long-term liabilities. Debt means loan, which you have to repay along with some interest or finance cost. Equity financing means that you raise share capital, you raise ordinary shares, preference shares, rights issues, IPOs. I mean, you increase your share capital. That's equity based financing. So there are two broad things: debt financing, equity financing. Which one is better? Come on. Which one is better? Depends. Very smart, guys. It depends. It is not as simple as saying this is better or this is better. In real world, it all depends on a lot of things, what suits the particular organization. So we should know the pros and cons of both options, so that we can decide based on the case study which one is better for them, or let the board decide. What my job is, I will identify the pros and cons of debt financing versus pros and cons of equity financing, and then we will debate in the board, and then the board will take a collective decision. Yes. All right. So how do we decide? What are the factors when we try to decide? So obviously the first thing is purpose and amount. So we need to know what is the purpose. Why do we need this fund? And what's the amount? The purpose and the amount may affect the decision. For example, if the amount is small, it's not a big deal. We can go for loans, running finance, this and that. But if the amount is big, then I need to think seriously about long-term financing options. The second thing is duration of the requirement. The funding requirement or a funding gap may be short-term or it may be long-term. It all depends for how long you need the money for. So for short-term, there are running finance options, overdrafts, right? I will not raise share capital to meet short-term requirements. Okay, so the duration is also important. And then the main thing, equity financing versus debt financing. So the first big difference is the cost. The cost of equity financing is linked with profitability. So what is the cost of equity financing? Basically, it's dividends, right? When you take share capital, you have to pay dividends. And when do you pay dividends? When the company makes profit. If the company is making losses, you don't pay dividends, right? So the cost of equity financing is linked to business performance. So if I make money, I will pay dividend. If I don't make money, I will not pay dividend. This is a big advantage. However, On a debt financing, the cost is fixed. You have to pay a fixed finance charge regardless of your business performance. You understand? Whether the business makes money or loses money, you have to pay. A second big difference is equity financing. It dilutes the existing shareholding because you're adding more shareholders, you're adding more owners. So you are actually reducing your stake in the business. But when you borrow some money as loan, it does not affect the ownership or the culture of the company because the owners' culture come from the owners, right? The third difference is no collateral is required. Collateral means some guarantee, some physical lien on the assets. But when you take a loan, the bank will always require some guarantee or tangible assets as collaterals like buildings or stocks or inventories, right? The fourth difference is this one, the shareholder equity financing does not affect your gearing level. But if you take loans, it will affect your gearing level. So these are the basic differences between the two: cost perspective, ownership perspective, collateral related aspects, gearing aspects, cultural aspects. So in which option, let me see whether you understand or not. In which option, there's a chance that your business strategies might be challenged or might be disagreed with? Equity, very good. Because no, not in debt financing. Oh my God, equity financing, because now you're adding more owners. So they might challenge the business strategies because only the owners can talk about business strategies, right? The bank will not get interfere in your business strategies. Very good. Yunus, I'm sorry, my boy, you made a big conceptual mistake by typing debt financing. Right. So you understand how, if someone asks me which one is better, debt financing or equity financing, I will say it depends on the pros and cons and it depends on your situation. And I can tell you the pros and cons and then you decide. So equipped with this, there are two professional skills. One is commercial acumen skill and one is skepticism skill. Commercial acumen skill means that you have to show the examiner that you understand business. So as a CFO, you think I need to understand my business? What do you say? As a CFO, or as when you are a CFO, is it important that you understand that business, like in which you are working, your business model, your products? Why does a CFO needs to understand the business? Because he sits on the board, right? He gives his input on strategic matters, future strategies, projections, budgets, all these things. So if I don't understand the business, how would I sit in the board? Yes, I am a consultant to the CEO in numbers. I'm an expert in numbers, right? So I have to understand. Now, there's a big difference in understanding accounting and understanding business. You guys may understand accounting better than me, but I understand business better than you because now my role is more into business. So we all agree that sooner or later, the CFO, you will become a CFO, hence you must have commercial acumen skill. And that's what the examiner wants to see in you at this stage, that you understand business. And it is not rocket science. You just copy paste information. You already know this, you know the commercial acumen, you do commercial acumen because all your answers are from the exhibits, right? So automatically, if you follow the exhibits, by default, you are doing commercial acumen. Just don't talk like an accountant. Just don't use technical accounting words like deferred taxation, IFRS. Do not start with financial points first. Always start with non-financial or strategic points first, and then add financials towards the end. Got it? Did you see that in this answer? You see, in the first answer, I started with external factors, which is non-financial. Then I talked about internal factors, which is non-financial. And then in the last, I came to financials. That's the right sequence. The board, they talk more about strategies, the non-financial strategic stuff first, and then the financials will follow. So just, keep this in mind. It always starts with non-financial or strategic points first in your answer, and financials should be towards the end of your answer. Okay, very simple. Skepticism skill is the most difficult skill from an exam point of view. Okay, it's difficult, it's easy to understand, but many students, they make mistake in skepticism skill. So what is skepticism skill? Yeah, having a questioning mind. So what, if every weekend, imagine, every weekend I sit late in my office and I reach home after midnight every weekend. What do you think my wife will do? Will she ask me any question? Will she? One weekend I can understand, but every weekend, if I am coming at midnight, she will have some doubts, and then she will question me. She will investigate. She will challenge me. Further investigated, yes. And supposing if I have some nice female smell, perfume smell coming from my jacket, I'm dead, right? Okay. Skepticism skill means having a questioning mind. Now, as a CFO, should you have a skepticism mind? Because a lot of people will try to make fool out of you, right? So you have to have that auditing mind, smartness to challenge, to check stuff, to counter question. You should have the balls to disagree with something which is not right. That's a main skill which a CFO should have, skepticism. But in an exam point of view, all you need to do is ask a couple of questions in your answer. So your drafting will be in a questioning style or a questioning tone of drafting. If you ask one or two questions, you will get this mark. And if you can't ask questions, you can also say, I disagree, or it is incorrect, or it's inappropriate. So just challenge, use these kind of words, and you will be safe. Sana is saying, but sir, shouldn't the consultant have a positive tone instead of an aggressive one? Aggressive one? I never said aggressive. I cannot be aggressive. You forget about consultant. Even as a CFO, I never use this word aggressive. Aggressive is something else. Skepticism is something else. So but I understand what you're trying to ask. Yes, you're right. As a consultant, you want to sound positive, but if the question says demonstrate skepticism skills, then you will need to tweak a little bit in your drafting without getting rough. or harsh. Okay. I disagree sounds aggressive. Maybe it depends. I beg to disagree. Unfortunately, I cannot agree. I don't know. Don't get stuck into the exact wordings, but you understand the concept. Alvin, just one or two. I'm just giving you examples. All right. So let's do the question and you will understand. Now, what is the question? Where is the question? Here is the question, right? So the first one, it says prepare briefing notes. So the format required is briefing notes for the board of NABI. Okay. A, an explanation of the appropriateness to NABI company of diversifying risk by going into hotel business. 6 marks. And professional skills are available for demonstrating skepticism skills in questioning the appropriateness of diversification for NABI. 2 marks. How many marks in total? 8 marks. Now, how many points for 8 marks? Very good. Can I say 4 points? Or maybe 4 paras? Questioning the diversifying risk by going into hotel business. B, consideration of the key factors which will influence the financing structure the board of NABI might choose. The financing structure. How would they finance the thing, right? Professional marks for demonstrating commercial. Actually, you know what? I should have been reading not from here, but from here so that I can, look at any additional thing. Okay, I think we are safe. So you understand that? Second point is financing structure. How many marks? 10 marks. I need to give 5 points or 5 paras. Okay, why do you say 4 to 5? Exact 4. Okay, right. So let's go. I think yesterday when we were solving this, we found something. We copy pasted. Right. Did you see this? Yeah. So when we were reading yesterday, we found these wordings from the exhibit. The sons have suggested that NABI should pursue a strategy of product diversification and enter the hotel industry. The market conditions are suggesting that maybe it is now time to diversify our portfolio. So first of all, we can start by saying, and I need to cover these 3 things, right? Product diversification, industry diversification, geographical diversification. Are they diversified right now, or are they all eggs in one basket? What do you think at the moment? Are they diversified? Yes, no. One basket. Okay. Very good. But before I start drafting, should we make the format? What was the format? Briefing notes. And this briefing note covers both part A and part B. Okay, so let's quickly make a format. Caps BRIEFING briefing notes to board of directors from management consultant. Subject date is 7 December 2021. This briefing notes. Okay. Subject. What do you plan the subject? Can I pick up diversifying risk as one? And for part B, we can say financing structure. Okay. We will say there are two parts, part A, part B. So I just picked up the keywords from both the requirement, diversifying risks and financing structure. And then how will you do an opening sentence? This briefing notes, and then I can, copy paste from here. This briefing notes, I can just copy paste from here. This briefing notes explains, no caps, explains the appropriateness of diversifying risk by going into hotel business. And what else? There's a part B, consideration of this, control C, and here control V, and key factors which will influence the financing structure the board might choose. Done. Opening sentence is there. Let me beautify. All this is bold. I increase the font size to heading 3, and this one I want larger and center and underline. Looks good. Briefing notes, very sexy, very good. Now the heading is part A. What is part A? Diversifying. So I'm just giving so that the examiner can see part A and part B, both answers very clearly. Okay. Okay, done. Now how do you want me to start this? Should I first talk about their existing, and then we will talk about the diversification of hotel industry? What do you say? I need 4 points. So I've got 3 broad headings, 1 hour. We will say that, currently, how do you want, currently NABI has 8 restaurants in Caputo. This shows that NABI has not followed any diversification strategy to date. Do you think this sentence is correct? Done. So what's wrong in not having any diversification strategy? When I'm saying they have not followed, that's good or bad? It's bad, right? So what can go wrong? In fact, risk is high. Yes, all balls in one basket. This is inappropriate. You remember this word? Inappropriate. This is inappropriate from a risk management point of view, as all stakes are in one basket. Enough. One paragraph or one point completed. And you see, I deliberately use the word this is inappropriate because which skill is required? Skepticism. I have to challenge, I have to disagree, I have to tell them, guys, this is not right. So what? If I'm a consultant, it is my job to tell them this is not right. If it's not right, I have to tell them, right? That's skepticism. Yes. Now, I will skip all this garbage and I will directly go to product diversification. So in this case, what is their existing product? Restaurants. And now they are going into hotel. So is that a product or an industry diversification? I think going from restaurant to hotel is more in industry diversification, right? So product diversification, I don't think. So product diversification would mean that instead of fine dining, you offer some fast foods or deliveries or I don't know, cooked packed food, soft drinks, juice corners, French fries. That's product, right? So hotel industry diversification is not a product diversification. It is more on a industry diversification, right? Halima, I mean, it's subjective. So I don't know. I mean, up to you. So you can't put in both, right? I know, but I don't think it's a product diversification. It is an industry diversification. Anyway, so I will say that product okay, I just defined something that what is means. In case NABI diversifies into hotel business, I don't think. Why did I write I don't think? Shh. Why do I think? Why did I write I don't think? Why this wording? Skepticism. Yes. I don't think that it is product diversification, as restaurants will still be part of the hotel. Done. Enough. Industry diversification. Yes, we will say that diversifying into hotel industry seems like a diversification, as it is different from restaurant. Is this a related diversification or unrelated? Related means it is different, but it is like some similarities are there. Related, right? Different. However, it is a related diversification. So what's wrong with related? So if the hotel business goes down, what happens to the restaurants inside the hotel? All it will affect the restaurants. So if I say, if you see the one of the articles, it said that hospitality industry as a whole. So hospitality includes hotels and restaurants. So if the entire hospitality industry goes down, so do you really think it is a real diversification of industry? Yes, it is something better than nothing, right? I mean, you can say that, yeah, it is a diversification. However, it is a related diversification, which means that both restaurants and hotels are part of. So what's wrong in that? Now I want to use some negative tone. Do you agree? Does it make sense to you? Why am I saying this is not appropriate? I'm challenging it. I'm saying, fine, you are diversifying, it's good, but, or whenever you use the word however, it means that now you will talk something bad, some disadvantage, something opposite. I'm deliberately using the word however's, but, this, that, because of skepticism. You see, I've changed my drafting. I'm acknowledging they are diversifying, but then I'm also saying that it may not be enough. What about geographical diversification? Do you agree with this? At the moment, all restaurants are in Capoto. The hotel option will help in geographical diversification to northern part of the Sealand, where growth potential is higher than southern part. Agreed? But now, can I try and put some question mark or some identify still some negative point? Like COVID. Okay, Padam is saying like COVID. So you think COVID will affect both south and north? Yes. So what happens if the overall economy goes down? So the economy is always of the country, right? So even if it's south of the country or if it's north of the country, if something goes wrong at a country level, it will affect all the businesses, right? So economy risks, political risks, social, so all the bigger factors which impacts at a macro level. So when we say geographical diversification, the best form of geographical would be country diversification, right? So that if there's a war, or if one country is in a political turmoil, you can cover, or exchange rates, I don't know. So we will say that, although, so I started with the positive point, I would say that it will definitely help in geographical, because you are right now everything in Caputo. However, NEBI is still operating in one country, hence macro factors such as political risks, economic downturns will affect all part of the country. Alas, more general? What do you mean more general, Alvin? Where am I general? Alvin, can you explain what makes you think that we are very general here? I started with saying that, oh, everything is in Caputo. That's not general. And then I'm saying that you are going to the north part. And then if the overall something happens, it will affect both north and south. It's not general. Obviously, the impact would be general. After a certain extent, when you explain your point, you have to be general. But as soon as you link with the case and you say 8 restaurants, Caputo, North Part, it's not general. Okay, Alvin? This is what you need to do. So simple and to the point. Please do not complicate your answers. You want to see how this looks. Here, you see this? Briefing note, part A, product diversification, industry diversification, geographical diversification. Did we focus on professional skills, which is skepticism? Yes, somewhere I asked questions, somewhere I said it's not appropriate, it's not enough. So I did adopt a deliberately negative tone enough. You think this is a short answer? No, it is just 8 marks. So 4 points. Opening this one is, so this point, the current situation will be considered as 1 point. And then here and here and here, 4 points enough for 8 marks. Do we have to delete the questions once done answering? Up to you. Not necessarily. Examiner is okay. Can we not include the point about becoming a worldwide member? So becoming a member of a group, how will that diversify geographically? Just by becoming a member of a global group, how would that geographically diversify you? I don't understand. Okay. Right, guys. How much stamina you have? Can we do my more 1 hour more, or like 15-20 minutes is okay? 10% is left. 30 minutes. 1 hour, really? So let's do the part B of the financing structure, and then we will 15-20 minutes, huh? Okay. So I think the time is up. The scheduled time is up or not? Oh God. Okay, then let's not do a lot of overrun, maybe 15-20 minutes. Let me just tell my wife to start cooking dinner. Yes, Vakas, if you can use FAO as well, huh? No problem. Why am I not able to get rid of the screen? Ah, here. All right, all right, all right. Now, where is the part B? Consideration of the key factors which will influence the financing structure the board of NABI might choose. 8 marks plus 2, 10 marks. I need to talk about 5 points. Elizabeth, okay, I'm sorry. I think I missed your question. So you can ask me now. I will wait. Elizabeth is a bit upset because she feels I am not answering her question. So please, I'm waiting for Elizabeth. Please quickly type or copy paste your question and I will answer. Okay, for briefing note, should we have sincerely management consultant? Yes, please. What else? How many lines should be suitable? I discussed all these points yesterday, my dear. I don't know when you guys attend or you guys are not attending. There is no concept of how many lines, but generally I think 3 lines, 3 lines, 4 lines is enough. It's very subjective. It all depends on, the screen, and but 2, 3, 4 lines is enough. I don't like big paragraphs. Okay. Yes, Elizabeth. So I just, please tomorrow watch day 1 webinar so that you can come up to speed. All right. Again, Saki, please don't ask questions which are not relevant to the current discussion. I cannot answer individual questions which is not pertaining to the topic under discussion. I hope you understand. All right, so let's go for part B. So part B is this one. Mohammed Anas is asking, like this printer view option, is there any live exam platform? Yes, in your CB platform, you just press the print button and you will see the PDF version. Same like what I did, you can also do. Saki, I will hold this question for later on. I will answer it, but not now. Now, consideration of the key factors and and we've got this point. So what have we gathered? You already have some points from this thing, right? From the case. So let me read the point. So it says a venture capitalist will be committed to our success in a way that bank is not. So why would a venture capitalist be more committed as compared to a bank? Any idea? Why do you think the bank will not be that committed to our business strategies? Ah, very good, because venture capitalist has a stake in the company. Subha is asking why there are only 3 points in part A. There are no 3 points, there are 4 points. Even the existing scenario which I explained will be considered as a point. Maximum you need to give is 4 points for 8 marks. Because a venture capitalist is interested in the business because they are stakeholders, not stakeholders, but shareholders. A bank will get the same amount of interest on our loan regardless of how well we are doing. Yes, absolutely. Whereas a venture capitalist, will just get dividends or returns once we start making profits. The current terms with our bank stipulate that our gearing ratio does not reach 45% and that we remain solvent. Okay, so if we take more loan, our gearing will deteriorate further. A venture capitalist return, on the other hand, grows in proportion to how successful we become. So in signing away some measure of control in the form of shares, we also gain a powerful ally to help realize our plans. We do not have the appetite or the capacity as a family to do this alone. Okay, I will pick up sentences. So I will give the heading. Is it? Yeah. Now, what factors? So I would say purpose and amount. Following, I can copy from here. Following are the key factors which will influence the financing structure. Control C. Following are the key factors which will influence the financing structure. Purpose and amount. That's number one. Even if you want, you can number the points. Where is numbering here? Purpose and amount. What is the purpose of this financing? What's the amount involved? Is that clear? Any issues? Straightforward. I just reproduce my facts, which I know so far. Okay. And oh, Baba, why are you giving me trouble? Oh, forget the numbering. Second heading is duration. What do you think the duration would be, short term or long term? The duration of the requirement will affect the sources of funding. In your case, why did I write in your case? Can anybody tell me why did I write in your case? Because remember, I'm a consultant. This is part of a briefing note. Okay, always, these little things are communication skills. In your case, the funding will be required short term or long term? Long term, as it is to finance future strategic options. Halas. Now the third one, cost. What do you think? The There's something cost here, yeah. Just copy paste it. A bank, a debt, a loan from bank will get the same amount of interest regardless of our business performance, whereas a venture capitalist return grows in proportion. Okay, whereas a venture capitalist return will grow as we make profits. As we make profits. Alas, is that okay? What about cost of financing done? What about ownership? Simple. You see how simple. I'm just giving two liners. Yes, I'm coming. I'm coming to gearing. Good point. Gearing. Depends on how much more than 45%, right? It was somewhere here. So the bank is saying that they will not provide more loan if the gearing crosses 45%. Correct? Can anybody tell me what is the current gearing level of NEBI? Nil. Okay, Aisha, good try. Wait, something is, my screen is gone. What's happening? Oh God, I messed up with my screen. Okay, Baba. Okay. Function F11. What's happening? Wait a second, guys. You know, these kind of things, they happen in a CB situation. Why I am not able to move? Okay. Oh God. Oh, you see how stupid. Now, if you look at the annexures, what about this annexure? It says accounting info year ended March. Aha. They've given you a statement of profit and loss account, and they have given you a statement of financial position. So would you guys be able to calculate gearing for me? I don't know how to calculate gearing. So I believe it's net assets, which is like 1233, divide by net assets plus long-term liability. So can anybody calculate gearing based on the financials? 86? No, that's not right. 35? That's Ramsha is correct. 46.3%. Excellent, excellent. That's correct. So it's basically debt divided by debt plus equity, right? 46% is correct. Smart people. So now you see, I knew that there is a financial statement given. So immediately I would like to calculate the gearing, because the board will ask you, okay, what is our current gearing? So as a CFO, you must know the current gearing, and because the financials have been given, I'm expected in the exam at the moment. Our existing gearing is this is a big one, huh? They cannot, with this already they have breached their what else? Maybe you can talk about culture. Very good. Enough. Expensive car point. What are you saying, Ali? You think the expensive car point will affect whether we take loan or we take debt financing? Enough. I think for 8 marks, we're supposed 10 marks, we're supposed to give 5 points, right? If we are getting small, if you're giving small points, then 6 points, more than enough. You can also talk about, I think that's great. Ownership and control. I talked about ownership and control right here. Ownership, you can see that. Did we pick up information from this paragraph? I think most of the information we have picked from here, which shows that we have linked with the case. Yes, Ali, you are right, but I don't like lengthy answers. And please, your time management is very important. If it is taking me 15 minutes to type, it will take you 30 minutes to type. Understand that? So please write less. Just link with the case and one liner explaining your point. Adrian is asking, did we use enough commercial terms to demonstrate commercial acumen? Commercial acumen, you don't have to use the words. All you need to do is don't sound like an accountant. For example, when I talk about ownership, when I talk about culture, these are business points, right? Yes, gearing is financial, but it's an important thing. It's a commercial thing. But ownership and control, culture, this does it show that I have an understanding of the business, this thing? Or does it show that I am just an accountant? I don't understand stuff like control, culture, strategies. So you don't have, you just have to demonstrate to the examiner that you understand business, and through this I have understood I've explained. Sir, I think the points are short. Yes, the points are short, but for me the time management is important. If you are able to complete this paper before 4 hours, then you can add more points. But if you tell me that I want to write more and in the end you missed 15 marks because of time limitation, then you will never pass this paper. Okay, Pranjna? And these points are not short. Alvin is saying, sir, nothing extra needs to be done for commercial acumen. No. If you remember my yesterday's class, there are 5 professional skills. For 4 of them, nothing extra needs to be done. For evaluation, just pros and cons. For analysis, just identify the root causes. For communication, just focus on the format and the tone and third-party consultant language. For commercial acumen, just talk about from the exhibit. Don't think like an accountant. Focus more on non-financials and then financials. Nothing extra needs to be done. Stick with the exhibit and you will be fine. Only for skepticism, you have to deliberately change your way of drafting. You have to adopt a negative, a question mark way of drafting. And someone was saying this is very short. How do you know it's short? You think it's short? I will show you it's not short. No. Now see, is it short? It's so many lines. You think it's short? It's all, you have to balance the length. Understand? You have to balance the length and the time. It's not easy. It's a chicken and egg situation. If you write more, you will lose time. If you write less, then of course the quality will go down. So it is you who will decide what is your speed. It varies from person to person. So you have to decide what is your speed so that you know how much to write. And how will you know that? By doing more practice. Okay. The more questions you will solve, for example, you need to solve this question on your own and then you can judge whether you are able to complete on time. Yes, we need to write sincerely in the end, of course, because it's a format. If you don't write, it's not a big deal. But if you write, it will create a positive image. So look at this answer. How does it look on a PDF? Briefing notes, part A, and then this is part B. It's very good. I mean, if you want, you can add one lines. I mean, I'm not stopping you. You can add one line more. But right now, understand the approach. Any question, guys? Did you learn today how to draft? Yes, Alamgir, I removed the first paragraph. Guys, you enjoyed, you understood the technique. Yes, I will share this note, but not today. Once we complete, you want this today or once we complete it? After 3 days. Today, you want today? Okay, I can send it today. Like question number, this is question number 1 and question number 2, right? And then tomorrow we will add on to this. I can again share it tomorrow. Whatever you guys say. Okay, I will share. There's no harm in sharing today. Right, guys? But what I request, now listen 2 more minutes. What I request, please, you have to open your own CBE and you have to do all this with your own hand. Seeing this on my screen, it's pretty easy. But when you will actually start doing it on your own, you will feel that it's not that easy. It is easy, but you need to have hands-on practice. Because whatever I'm saying, like the points are not difficult, but how you lay them out, how you draft, how you don't get overboard, this only will come through hands-on practice. So please, tomorrow morning, afternoon, spend 2 hours and do this on the CBE so that when we connect tomorrow evening, you are ready with question number 3. Okay, please do this. Don't waste this opportunity. So guys, thank you so much. The recording will be available for this class by tomorrow evening before the webinar starts. I will share this answer in few minutes and see you tomorrow with your own CB, right? Great. Thank you very much. I enjoyed and I hope you enjoyed, and you guys take care. Good night. Bye-bye.